Hi there. Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year to everyone. Um, I had a very lovely New Year with my daughter Alice. We blitzed out on watching Dirty Dancing and Patrick Swayze and all kinds of movies, believe it or not, that I have never seen before. And I'm a fan. But anyway, it was a good giggle. And we had chocolate and was very quiet actually and went to bed early. So I did my silent meditation and invocation and inviting all the best for the next year. Thank you, Becky. I always appreciate you guys telling me if it works. I didn't even have to ask you this week. Well done. I love Swayze. Yeah. Goodness, what a guy. Yes, Tim, it is very cold. Very cold. Happy New Year, Verpy. Happy New Year to everybody. I want to let you know that in my meditations and ever since, there's like this lightness in the air, which is a very good sign. Very good sign. And I have to be more serious about finances and things because this year I was supposed to make an income with selling art, having exhibitions, having classes, retreats, and COVID shut it all down. I'm happy that I had time to do inner work because I've said before that for years and many other people have felt this new energy coming, and I think it's here. We still have to do our work and keep with it. We're co-creators. Hi, Angela. Glad to see you. And Drew, I hope you're okay. So happy you guys all come. I'm going to check in and see who else is here. Becky, I watched the documentary about him really? I saw one, was it with his wife? She's amazing, so beautiful. And they did a dance together. The love that they had with each other in that dance was so touching, so beautiful. Hi, Juliet. Glad you could be here. And Stacy, hi. -20 in Finland. You know, I loved the smell. We used to go skiing in Zermatt, the whole family, and when Dave and I were still together, and there's the crunch of the sound walking on the snow, and all the colors everyone wore, and there were sparkles in the snow, and it was incredible to go skiing with everyone. We used to stay in the post house, which was owned by some friends. And we would go with the families from Deep Purple, Vicky and Jackie and their husbands and children. It was quite a group. And little Claire, she was little then, but boy, she was like Luke out of Star Wars in his little machine, you know, going shh. And then we'd all get down and we'd have hot chocolate with marshmallows and things. But Claire, this one time, she didn't go with us. We had to go, I think, to the left and then go down to get into the main street. Well, she kept on going to the right. And when we got to the street, there she was, flying, because it was a high wall, down onto the street. And she survived. Thank God. She was a very independent lassie and still is, I have to say. So let me see who else is coming. Yeah, I know Verby. Great, Drew. How are you feeling after your chemo's finished? I remember with Matthew it took a little bit of time. I don't know if I told you, but when he was on it, he would have it. He'd be on it for a week in London, and then he'd come to me. And he sat in the garden at one point, and he said, "I hope the chemo kills the cancer before it kills me." But I don't know if I told him at the time, but I think I had about 4 churches praying for him, about 6 healers, and me, and many other people thinking for him, lighting candles and things. And I just said to him, "Matt, there's something more than the chemo and death. There's life, and there's a lot of light around you." And so there is. He's here. And I think he loves life more now. Becky's saying that it's freezing outside and you're in front of a log fire wearing a sundress. Sound like my kids. The girls are always walking around in sundress even in the winter. Greetings from Augusta, Georgia. Hi, Cannon. So we have Nikki Starbuck. Hi. Happy Wednesday to you too. And Beta. Yeah, the crispy snow and the frosty trees. Stephen, I've had a good week. I actually had a really good Christmas. Very simple. And Alice had made a Christmas garden wonder outside, and there were 2 tables, so people could come, so we could be social distance, and they would come in the back way. And she had a little shed there that had heaters in it, so if you got cold you could sit there. And she and I made the dinner, or the lunch actually, and there was so much simple love. And I think it's one of my best Christmases for a while. So, yeah, I'm really happy about it. It took you a while, Becky. She just spotted the lights around my neck. Juliet saying that Matthew is a wonderful man with lots of light around him. Yeah, last Sunday it was so special. I've posted it, by the way, if anyone hasn't heard it. I'm just in complete wonder about that. I always call him a boy, but he's really a man. How he can just sort of create a song on the fly. But of course I was just complimenting him before going online, and he said, "It's not quite like that, Mum. I have a lot of things that are set up." He said, "It'd be like you saying you were going to do a painting, but you had to go to the shop and buy everything." So he's got it. He's been to the shop. Yeah. Thank you, Drew. She likes my Christmas photos. Yes, Cannon, I try to be there as much as I can. So Kimberly, you're from Philly. I was born there. My father and stepmom lived on Kirby Drive, but I don't know what side of Philly that is. Thank you, Becky. It picks up the light quite a lot, depending. And sometimes it reflects the blue in a different way. It has different temperament. You should see it in the daytime. Verby, I was thinking the same thing. If I could get it out of my hair, it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I watch him on replay too. And if you haven't seen him on his Christmas Eve surprise gig, I highly recommend watching it. Kimberly said she has a picture of me from Facebook and she wants to do a scrapbook page with it. Can you explain which picture and what you mean by a scrapbook, if you don't mind? Oh my goodness, I didn't know. I've lost contact with a lot of that. Yeah. I have to tell you something. I have to admit to you, and something that I just admitted to Matthew. On his last, not this last live, but the one previous, the Sunday, Alice was talking to some people downstairs, and I was upstairs in my bedroom, and I wanted to listen to Matthew, and I didn't want to disturb her, so I put the headphones on. Now, usually I don't use headphones, not for years, unless Matthew sends me a recording of a new song. Mom, you have to listen to this, so I put the headphones on. Well, this Sunday, I put the headphones on and I was completely gobsmacked, for a better word. The level of sound and the intermixing and everything, it was just wow. I was even more wow. So I highly recommend it. And I was telling Matthew, because since 1971, I've been involved with rock and roll on many different levels, and I know the importance of headphones. And we used to do it a lot at parties and stuff. You just lie on the floor and listening to the music in headphones. And it's been years now since I've been in healing that I haven't been putting sound so close to my ears. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to do it now. Well, at least with Matthew's music. And you know what he said? He said 50% of the sound you lose by not using headphones. 50%. I couldn't believe it. No. Anyway, I had this thought. Something has been coming to me about the new year. Before I start, Drew's asked, Ginger, did you and David, with your children, live in that huge Tudor? You mean the one that some other people bought? We've lived in several Tudor houses. If you mean Hook End near Henley in Checkenden, yes, we did. And our third daughter was born there in our bedroom at sunset. And in fact, Krishnamurti was just going on telly. So I was, in between my contractions, I was listening to him. It was a very magical moment, I have to say. Very special. And Christmases were really special there as well. Dave had a really lovely studio, and they would record different things. And then we had a really big dining room that I would make some really good Sunday roasts and things, and we'd have people over. It was a very festive time, as I recall. So, what I want to talk to you about is stillness. Over the weeks, we talk about the invisible and the visible, that creativity is like the bridge, the key, the doorway. Your imagination can either take you into fantasy, which is something your mind creates, often about what you think you are and what you should be, and it's not the truth. And then your imagination can take you to who you really are in your soul, which is always there, never leaves you. And it's where happiness and love and peace and stillness belong. And what came to me as I was closed my eyes for meditation, I thought, closing your eyes. We close our eyes as a habit sometimes. Like when you kiss someone that you love, you close your eyes. At least most people do. When you hug for a long period of time and cheek to cheek and go into that timeless space of oneness, your eyes are closed. What else? When else do you close your eyes? Because it's a special place, and it's something in us that's beyond indoctrination, in a way. It's like if you really looked at yourself to see, when do I close my eyes? What am I doing when I close my eyes? And then you'll find there's a stillness. And it's in that stillness that's always there. Will be our salvation in a way, especially at the moment, because this COVID is going on, and American politics aren't having an easy time of it either, people there. But as I said, I feel this new energy is the guiding force and is bringing stillness. And that's what we need to find. That place in you where you can touch that. I just wonder, can you take, like 10 minutes a day and just sit and listen to the stillness? Can we just sit here right now? Close your eyes and listen to the stillness. I can feel all of us as a group. And there's a lovely sound of beauty in it. And of course, sometimes you're doing the shopping list. If you sit for 10, you can sit longer, even better. In a way, you're doing a meditation, but you don't have to call it that. Just sit with your eyes closed. Maybe you might hear the rain or the snow or the fire crackling or just the inner stillness. It's important that we do this. We're so attached to the outside for acceptance or confirmation, or thinking that if it's calm out there, it's the only way I will be calm. But it's not true. We need to change our program. What is true is what is inside. And then you respond to what's outside from that place. I highly recommend it. It certainly is something that has helped me through all sorts of moments in my life. Hi, Donald. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Isabel. Kimberly. It's you when you were younger and you have a pink flower, right? I know the one. Scrap booking is using pictures and words to journal something. I have a site that I get things to decorate the page. I've been doing it for 30 some years. Yes, you can do that, Kimberly. I don't mind empowering that. Do you write poetry as well that goes with it? Because that would be nice. Kimberly says she closes her eyes when she listens to music. Hi, Alan. Evening. Juliet says she closes her eyes when she's grateful for something, even just little things. I was just thinking, when I go outside and I feel the sun on my face, I close my eyes. Or if I smell a flower, I close my eyes. So it's we're programmed. It's like I started to notice this week more about when I close my eyes, what am I touching? There's something in us as human beings that we close our eyes for something. I think we have to empower that more. Kimberly, I'd love to hear or you send me some of your poetry. Isabel loves to stay still and just breathe. So I guess she says she's meditating. Yeah, you can do that. I did an exhibition for the Brahma Kumaris down in Oxford one year for their Peace Festival. And they actually meditate with their eyes open. And what I found in experimenting with that, which is another aspect of being human, is that I only would touch that space inwardly of stillness if my eyes were closed. And to meditate for some times with my eyes open, I was learning to bring that stillness into the space in front of me that my eyes were looking at. Interesting it was. Quite a revelation at the time. Generally speaking, I meditate with my eyes closed. I do it for about an hour in the morning, but part of that is sending healing, absent healing to people and to the world. The main thing is about sitting in silence. We need to do that. That restores, heals, and it balances everything that's going on outside and also the projections judgments you have of yourself. And it's, we need that balance, particularly right now. It would be really important. And we don't need techniques, though there are lots of them and they're really helpful. I've used various different ones in different cycles of my life. I even had a cycle in my life, can I touch that space without meditating? Because there's some Buddhist monks that do a walking meditation in silence. And they walk very, very slow and they feel every step. But they're emptying themselves. They're probably feeling the woodland if they're walking in the woods. They're becoming one with nature. And in the stillness, beyond words. And that's where all things happen. And that's why Cecil said that we create in order to understand. We don't understand in order to create. A true masterpiece comes from that stillness. And also you'll solve most of your problems in a different way, in a clearer way, if you learn to touch that place. And there are lots of times if I have a question that I need an answer, I will sit quietly, ask the question, and see what the answer is. And over the years, I've sometimes have had to really dare to follow the answer and trust it. But it's a pretty good companion. Kimberly, you don't have to be professional to be a poet. Expressing your feelings and in that way is like honoring yourself. But if you feel shy about it, that's okay. You don't have to be professional for me. Rupi also writes poetry. Totally, Rupi. She says it's important for it to come from the heart. Yeah. But I have to say, usually it's the mind that tells you to pick up the pen, and it's the working together, but it comes from the heart first, and the mind is guiding it. We need to have both. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Glad you can make it. Verbi, music can be quite a wonderful way to do that. There's a wonderful singer. Now I can't believe she wrote 100,000 Angels, and I used to listen to that a long time ago while I was creating. And I was asked to do an installation for the Body, Mind and Spirit in London. And so I put up all my white sculptures and everything. People were coming there just to sit and be quiet. And this lovely lady, which I cannot believe I've forgotten her name. Help. Nope. Anyway, this beautiful, blonde, lovely lady came up in white, and we were talking and everything, and she then came back later and brought me her album of 100,000 Angels. And I said, oh my goodness, you are the music, the voice that I listen to when I'm creating. And then I stopped doing that. I listen to the silence that comes to me. But honestly, lately, when I've been doing that painting, I had 2 days of listening to Dirty Dancing and dancing. So, different strokes for different strokes, folks. So, yeah. Anyway, let me read what some of you are saying. Juliet says she feels the walking meditation when I walk my dog, maybe. I'm so aware of the beautiful nature and silence around me. Also seeing how happy my dog is. It's a wonderful thing. Nature makes me feel soothed and happy. Yep, it does. And Verpi meditates in nature. Drew is saying, not sure if this is meditation, but when I create my paintings, I go to a place inside myself that's so medicinal, so happy. Totally, Drew. That's what my art classes are about. That's how I work. It's a true. Cecil Collins, my art teacher, said that a true work of art comes from God or from the cloud of knowable things. the cosmos, however you want to call it, the energy, that the life energy that is there at all times. And what I discovered is that whether it's creating the art of living, or a painting, or a sculpture, or music, or dance, even washing the dishes or cooking your dinner, if you could bring that energy down and create a form with it, that's the highest work of art. And that's what is missing in our world right now. And that's what all of us can be as an example. It's not Shana, I can't say it, O'Connor, but she's wonderful. Drayton. Lucinda Drayton, it came to me. Yay! Thank you, Lucinda. I'm so sorry. And we've done a lot of things together over the years. That's why, I don't know why I had a blank. But there she is, Lucinda. Very special lady. She works a lot in healing and singing and lecturing. Verpi was saying that when she held her cat, it was a very special moment. I had that with Alice's cat, Noi Noi, when I was staying with her. He came up and he laid on my neck and was purring as I was stroking him. And it was like our energy dissolved into the oneness of who we were. I've had that with babies as well. I've had it with hugs, when we could hug. Human beings are really special, you know, what we can experience and share. I find meeting all of you and our relationship and smiles are building more and more every week. So it's, I love it. I really do. I'm very grateful. I haven't heard of Lorena Mechanics. I'll have to look it up. And cats are very, very special beings. In fact, I've had some amazing experiences with all kinds of animals. There was a time, I told you a few weeks ago when I went to Antwerp for meditation and sharing retreats and things. And we would be walking through their parks, and the birds would follow us. We were getting quite a collection. We'd sit down, they'd suddenly surround us and things. That's really special. And then one time I went with this friend to Lindos when was it? Late autumn, after the tourists were gone. Nobody was really there. We went down to the boat beach to go out onto the rocks. And when I turned around, by the time we got to the boat beach, we had a whole, I don't know, maybe every cat in Lindos was following us all the way out. Out, way out. And we sat down at one point, and this one mother and her babies were jumping all over us and everything. The cats are quite wild in Lindos. They're not human friendly like they are in the West, in England or America. I'll never forget that moment of them following us. And so when we got back to the beach, and there's this huge hill, most of them just waited at the bottom. They didn't follow us up the hill, and the mom and their babies were, and I had to talk to them and say, listen, we're going to be getting in a car to go down the coast a bit, so you better just hang out here, stay here, you can't come with us. It was good. Yeah, horses, for sure, horses. Gosh. The horse whisperer. Great book. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see what else that you guys are chatting about. Yeah, Lori, the good birds are. We're having a bird evening, I think. There was on the animals tour. I have to say there were some interesting animal experiences. I've shared a couple with you, but I remember once that in New York City, the record company got a whole load of animals, sheep and pigs and goodness, I can't remember all the ones they had, and they had a lorry going down in front of them with big mega speakers playing the album with these people were walking with them. It's just, we need to be more caring and not so exploiting of the animal world. I'm looking forward to starting a painting with this feeling of the light. I just want to let you know you should check out Juliet's new paintings. They're very special. Juliet, you've got a website, don't you? Hi, Andy. Goodness, that sounds amazing. Andy lived on a beach on Vancouver Island with an eagle's nest very close. And in Germany, during the silent retreat with Gangaji, tiny sparrow was joyously, powerfully playing around and revealed. No one has ever told me just a minute, we gotta do Seymour. Seymour. You won't see more, Andy. Okay. I'll try Seymour again. I'm just worried. Once I did that and I lost all of you guys. I'm not going to do it, Andy. We'll have to chat on the phone and tell me more, please. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about animals, healing in light, maybe it's the way that we allow ourselves to touch that oneness. We need to touch it within ourselves. And when you start doing that, the radiance of it is the air in your home, and as you walk down the street just changes. It's almost like you're floating, but you're grounded. We do have to be here. We do have to work with the world. We just can't go and be solitary. We need time to retreat, yes. Preferably do that daily, close your eyes and listen to the stillness, because it's the balance. We have there was some cycles that I went through probably in I can't remember when, but there are times that some of the practices I was doing I misinterpreted what it means to not be attached. I thought that, the outside world was causing too much problems, and I was going to meditate, and I was going to detach, and I was going to just surrender and give up everything. But I couldn't quite, because I was attached. But what I've come to realize is that what attach means is how can you be in the world, watch everything, and respond to it from that point within, where everything is always there. The love is always there. So you have to learn to disattach yourself from your main identification being in the material world. We have to be here because we are co-creators, but we've let it go astray. We have to come back, or in a way expand, because we are evolving at the same time. It's not like you go back to something. Be as a child, they say, but at the same time, Cecil said that a paradise re-won is of greater value. So I think in a way we're waking up as mankind. And then we can value and we can be more of a co-creator. Otherwise we've just been floating around, playing the game. I'm really glad that I can participate more and serve. So everyone is sharing about their cats and their love. There's a woman that I met when I was traveling with Lily Cornford, the mental color therapist that I worked with for many, 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 many years. And we went to an international, interdimensional conference in Arizona. I think she was like 75, gosh, almost my age. I always have this image of her gray-haired and old. Another realization. Anyway, we met this wonderful woman who worked with animals. And she was one of our friends for a very long time. And I don't know what it is about names tonight, but I can't recall hers either. How interesting. I apologize. But so many wonderful stories she would have of how to communicate with animals. She had this way of, first she'd still her mind. I added thinking the color blue. Then she'd open her heart. I would add pink. And she would visualize the story of what she wanted to communicate to this animal, cat, dog, horse, a bear. And and she did a lot of things that helped people. There was one woman who asked her to help with her cat. I think she lived in Boston. And the cat would not use its litter box. And the woman was really, really upset about it. So this person, the healer, a good friend, who I can't remember her name, went off to this woman's house. It's one of those really amazing Bostonian red brick multi-story homes. And when she went in, the woman was quite affluent. All the furniture was covered with white sheets, except there was one side room where she and the cat lived. And so my friend took the cat into another room and did that procedure of calm, still, blue, open the heart, pink, and created a storyboard of pictures of how the cat's mom wasn't very happy because the cat was not using the litter box. And then she would see the mommy being happy because the cat's using the litter box. So then she'd wait to see a picture come back. Well, this picture came back of a night when the whole house was full of a party, no sheets. The woman was all dressed up, coming down the stairs. And then ever since that night, the woman was became very depressed, and all the life of the house disappeared. So the cat said the only way that she could get the owner to be alive was not to use the litter box. And she was worried. So she was happy that something was being done. So I wish I could remember her name. I'll look it up in my book. There's a great chapter on it. Anyway, she shared it with the woman, this story that she saw in pictures, and she started to cry. Well, apparently that was the night before her wedding, and her fiancé, future husband, died in a car crash. So it had been many years, and the cat helped her owner to get back to living again. That's just one story that she would tell, and it's in my book. It's she used to have a little, I think it was a sparrow, and in those days you could travel with a little sparrow in your pocket on a plane, and wherever she went for a lecture or whatever, she would always have food arranged at the hotel to feed her lovely companion. She wouldn't be able to do that now. So everyone's now talking about age. Donald says that he feels that as we get older, we feel a lot of pain. And Verpi says real beauty comes with age. And it's true, we're not getting any younger, but there's something of a wisdom that comes as you get older. There are aches and pains and things. Probably because we weren't caring for ourselves while we were going through periods of time. It's I'm glad I've been working for many, many years, but I also know through the healing that I've been involved with that can change. And yet at the same time, there'll be pains that are helping you to open up, to discover something of yourself, to let go of something, in order for you to touch that silence inside. And we are returning to spirit. You can start feeling it as you get older. And an American Indian wise woman had said that the white people resist the Great Spirit. So that's something I've contemplated for a while. Do I resist the Great Spirit? And you see it coming. Rudolf Steiner also talks about the great adventure, death, the great adventure. I hope when my time comes I'll be able to feel it and go with it. I know it's not the end of my soul experience, so I hope I live well. Juliet, that's an incredible story. I know my dogs have always had a very spiritual nature to them. They've helped me through so much. I talk to my dog all the time. Dogs find their owners for a reason, I think. There is a fantastic story that I must share with you from her. And it's like when you go out for the day, or even longer than that, say you're going out for a couple days, and you have to do the blue still and the pink, or whatever way that you open up your heart and you're still, and you see yourself going out of the house, but you see the sun and the moon going around as many times as you're away, and you see if someone's coming to feed the animal or animals, you see that person coming in and going out and coming in and going out and feeding them. Now the important thing is, she said, that if you have like a cat and a dog, you give them each something to do. So you give the dog the job of going around and checking all the doors, making everything's okay, and the cat looking out the window, watching everything. And then you see the picture of you coming back. So I've had my children do that. I do it when I had animals, so that they know when you're coming and going. They do think in pictures. We used to think in pictures, but the word is taken over more. But we have a lot of pictures in our brain all the time. I'm always wondering, what pictures do I have in there? Are they healthy pictures, positive pictures, uplifting pictures, judgment? Which kind of pictures plays in my head? Because I know they affect my body, they affect my health, they also make me happy. And yeah. So we have, can't believe it, we've got 7 minutes. So do you have any other questions you want to ask me? I am putting up on my website the opportunity to have a conversation with me about creativity, about psychology, spirituality, anything you like. So check out my website, gingerart.net. And there's a lot of other little things there. The other thing is, I'm thinking, because there's such a need for people to touch that place, and I know through art we can do that. And I've done the course of 5 lessons, but I'm contemplating offering a gift of the first lesson, so that it might help people more. And so have a look, because it's probably going to be offered next week, maybe. And then maybe you could give me an idea. We were thinking that if there was a way I could give like a live Zoom, a short experience of all of us together. We're still looking at the technical things, but I also tried to think of how can I, in 30 minutes or 60 minutes, give an experience of what I'm talking about. Because otherwise it's probably just words, because it's not something that people know about. What do you think? I will look at some of your questions. Do I have a vision for my new painting? I have a feeling it's got a lot of white and light, but as I've said before, one never knows what's going to come out, so tune in, stay with me. It's just that sort of feeling I have to create, really. That's all I've got. Laurie wants to know if I work with teenagers. Well, before the lockdown, and just at the lockdown, a friend through Facebook who lives near Portsmouth asked if I would help his daughter with her end of school art project, which I said yes. And then they came over a couple times, but we had to go online in working with it. And then the schools closed and it was just left. So Isabel would love to have a Zoom session. So, Laurie, we can talk about this. And Andy, sounds a good idea. The transmission of grace through direct experience would be a great gift. Well, maybe we could talk about some ideas. I'm letting it sort of flow to me how I could guide people. Yeah. One of my daughters has something to do with what, Donald? And if it's about the tarot, I don't think so. We like the goodness, the ones on the American Indians. Andy, help. Certain information is not meant to say, but Donald, I don't know what you're talking about. Perhaps you could explain it to me. Everyone, Laurie, has an old soul. And sometimes when there's a lot of angst, they're very evolved, sensitive souls needing help. And Rudolf Steiner always said that that passage of going into adulthood can be pretty rocky. Them trying to discover who they are. And if they're very sensitive, as I'm sure her mother is, what kind of world is it out there for a sensitive person to go into? And it helps to find that place in yourself that gives you confidence and strength in a world of great conflict. There is a dear friend, Michael Benner, is giving talks on KPFK radio now live last night at our time, 7 o'clock. And he interviewed a man that wrote a book called Spirituality in a World of Conflict. And I was thinking of getting that because he seemed to know what he's talking about. He gave a huge list of different methods. I don't know whether a teenager would like that, but it might be that if she had a guide or if she just had practices with art from someone she might learn to respect, that might be a helpful time, because teenagedom is really, really a challenge in this world, going out into the world. Well, Sarah's into design, clothing design. She's an assistant, was an assistant to Harper's Bazaar magazine. Great stylist, very creative. Alice is a graphic designer. Claire is a carer for the elderly. And Matthew, as we know, is a musician. Thank you, Juliet. And it is past 8 o'clock, but hang on. This here tonight and every week is such a calm and beautiful place to be. It's become a very healing time for me and all lovely people here, I think. You're such a kind soul, Ginger. We're a positive and happy band. And let's make it a symphony that reaches the world. And so, in the words of my wonderful son, Becky. Yes, Becky. I was just asking June your opinion on fortune tellers, really, not in the need of that kind of help. I've come to a point that I like to listen to my own guides. Some people go to fortune tellers and even getting their charts done, and some people can't go out without consulting the stars, and I've gone through phases of all of those things, and now I'm in a phase to where I want to take full responsibility of my thoughts and my actions and how I serve people from a clear conscience. And that's what I wish for you too. And I want to say so long. It's time to fly. I can't believe a whole week's gone by. May your week be full of love and happiness and joy and creativity. And speak to you soon. Goodness. So, thank you for coming. And it's time to close. Good night, good night, good night. Love you.